Hey, how y'all doing? It's your boy Greg with another video. And I just want to piggyback on what I was talking about yesterday about are you a real sports fan? And maybe I'll just make this like a constant theme since people keep doing this every single day. Okay, so again, a full Sunday. A lot of sports going on, basketball, hockey, college basketball, soccer if you're into soccer. you know, European soccer, where Liverpool beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. You got a basketball, a full slate of basketball games going on. College basketball. If you're into hockey, hockey legend was honored last night. Chris Chelios in Chicago. Patrick Kane, who was a big time Chicago Blackhawks legend. He's on the Red Wings now. He had a game-winning goal against the Blackhawks on Chris Chelios night. A lot of great story. I mean, you had Nikola Jokic, 36, 16, and 16. Triple-double, crazy triple-double. Kings Clippers, the Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis destroyed the Clippers last night. I mean, there was just a whole bunch of great games last night, a lot of great things to talk about. What is the only story that people want to talk about? Cam Newton hosting a 7-on-7, get into a big fight with a bunch of idiots at a 7-on-7 camp. And like I said, I'm not hating on the fact that people want to talk about it. I think it was a relevant story that should have been covered, but I don't think it should have been the front story, the most viral story that people should have covered. I mean, that's kind of crazy to me. Like, I mean, and that's not me being a Cam Newton hater. I mean, I'm not a big Cam Newton fan. I think he was a great player, but there were some things in his career that obviously, not obviously, but that I had an issue with. Preferably not preferably, the fumble, memorably the fumble that happened in the Super Bowl that he didn't want to jump on. So ever since then, I kind of soured on Cam a little bit, and but that don't take away from the fact that he had an absolutely great career, college and pro. So, but that again, that shouldn't be the number one story though. Like, I mean, it was a fight. He held it down. He's a big dude, and dudes try to jump him, and he showed why he is, a massive athlete that he is. He's not a normal dude. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's 250 pounds, and that 250 pounds is not fat; it's muscle. So, good luck trying to fight someone like that. That's not a normal man to fight. But again, there's just so many things in the world of sports that people just don't want to cover. They treat these games like an afterthought. Dudes are having great performances, and it's like if it's not the dude that people want to talk about, people just ignore him, dude. I mean, what Nikola Jokic is doing right now is absolutely insane, dude. The Warriors are playing good basketball. The Nuggets just tore them apart after being down 16. And I think that is a story that people need to talk about, man. I'm a Bulls fan. The Bulls had a great game against the Pelicans, a big road win. They're trying to keep it. They're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're barely hanging on to a play-in seed right now, and I'm hoping they can make some noise. It's not looking great, but man, it's exciting right now, man. And like I said, I just think that these things should be more relevant, and it's like the games are not relevant for some reason to the people who supposedly matter. And I think that's a real mistake that people are just constantly talking about these off-the-field issues that, not saying they shouldn't be covered, but they're making that the main thing and not the games, dude. We know Cam Newton because he was a great football player. That's why we know Cam Newton. Cam Newton is not going to ever be a better podcaster than he was a football player. And the fact that people don't respect the reason why the games, that is the reason why Cam Newton is as relevant as he is, and that's why we care about Cam Newton. So if you care about Cam Newton, you should be caring about these games, dude. Let's make sure that the games are always at the forefront of why we like, unless like Cam Newton gets into something serious, like politics, becomes like a government leadership or something like that. Oh, I don't understand why he is like this forefront of like why we care about certain things. He did a great thing hosting a 7-on-7 camp. I don't think he should. I don't think he deserved to be treated the way he was treated. But still, that is not something that should be more relevant than what the Nuggets are doing, what's going on in hockey, what's going on in soccer, what's going on in all these different sports, dude. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be. I'm not like some weird groupie that a dude can just basically like do something in his life and I have to know what is going on. If you're doing something in sports and doing something great in sports, then yeah, I'm gonna follow it and I'm gonna give you your props, or I'm gonna say that you didn't do well. But if you're not doing stuff on the field, then it's like, it's just not relevant, man. Like, it's just not relevant. Like, it's relevant in those kids' lives, and I'm glad he's doing what he's doing and everything like that. But, that's not, it should be for that local community to cover and whatnot, man. It shouldn't be viral where he's getting into fights with coaches and whatnot, man. That's not how we should be running these things. And I'm going to harp on this point because it's important, because it's just every single night we're watching certain things, certain great things going on in sports, and that's why certain people don't get the respect that they do. When LeBron is doing something, or when Kevin Durant is doing something, or when Steph Curry is doing something, we know every single time they have a great game, but y'all don't want to cover people like Nikola Jokic, and you want to make it seem like this dude don't even exist and he's the best player in basketball, man. And that's why y'all, come on. And when he was winning MVPs and this was going on, it was bad. But this man is a champion now, dude. He is a champion now. He won a championship. So this stuff to keep going on the way it's going on, the media should be ashamed of themselves. The fact that people are trying to say that there's no relevant, we don't want to watch this, or we rather watch people like Caitlin Clark, who hasn't even won a championship. Y'all rather watch Caitlin Clark than Nikola Jokic? Dude, come on, man. Tell me how that makes any kind of sense, dude. This man is not putting up like, pedestrian numbers here. He's putting up historical numbers. He is doing ridiculous things. You had that excuse when Tim Duncan was in the league and he was winning every night and he was performing as the best player every night. You ignored him. You were trying to say, oh, well, he's not putting up whatever. You can't make that excuse for Nikola Jokic, man. So I just really hate that this is going on. And just think that it's crazy, man. Like, we need to do better. If you are a sports fan, let's stop making these off the field issues so that these bloggers can get famous and everything. Let's stop making this stuff the forefront of what we want to talk about, man. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be covered. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a story, but why is that the number one story? That's all I'm trying to understand. Why is that the number one story that everybody wants to talk about, or that they're trying to make us talk about, and they're trying to get us to ignore these games? If sports is what you want to hear and, consume. Obviously, if you want to talk about something outside of sports, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on that's way more important. I can get into all that as far as like Ukraine trying to join NATO and Russia threatening nuclear war. So, if you don't want to talk sports and you want to talk important stuff, that's obviously super important, and that's a scary situation. The border is a scary situation. And obviously, the most important situation that should be on anybody's mind is, are you a Christian? Who do you believe in? What's going to happen to you after you die? Jesus Christ says to believe in him so that you will be with him forever. So that's obviously the most important thing. So I'm not trying to get too deep into the most important things going on, whatever. I'm just talking about sports and everything like that. But I mean, I can get into the deep stuff if y'all want to, but I'm just trying to keep it sports right now. But if you want to get into the deep stuff, that's probably those are probably the most important issues. Jesus Christ being always the most important issue in everybody's life. Are you saved? Are you not? Getting into heaven is always going to be the most important thing. Knowing your Savior is always going to be the most important thing. But I'm just trying to keep it sports right now. I'm just saying that we have a problem with like separating the off the field and the on the field. And I don't understand why that's going on. And it's going on every night. It was the Kyle Filipowski thing yesterday. And today it's the Cam Newton thing. It's going to be something else tomorrow. It's always something going on where it's like some podcast beef. It's always something where a game is going on and we're focusing on a fight or focusing on something that's going on that has nothing to do with these games, dude. Why is that always going on? It's just weird to me, dude. It's weird. So many great stories that we can talk about. So many great breakdowns of coaches and players and all the stuff that's going on that we can talk about, and we're not talking about it. And it's frustrating as a sports fan. So I guess maybe you can call this Are You a Sports Fan Part 2, because I don't know what's going on right now. And if this keeps going on, I'm going to keep harping on this, man, because this needs to change. This is why, we're not focusing on the things we should be focusing on, man. And I won't address it this video, but I saw another video where they were breaking down certain stuff about basketball, and they were saying how, I'm going to focus on that on another video, but just focus on what I'm saying about that, man. Like, why are we not focusing on the games? Because I guarantee you, if LeBron James was still doing what he was doing, we wouldn't be doing this, dude. We would be, LeBron James had 30, 10 and 10 or whatever, and that's fine. That's how it should have been when he was, but now that it's somebody else's turn, it's like we're focusing on Kyle Filipowski and whether we should ban court storming and Cam Newton, why he don't get respect in the black community when he's giving back and whatever. Like, I mean, I don't want to talk about those type of things as the main thing. Like, I don't, because that's just really got nothing to do with the games, man. But, so anyway, I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. If you get what I'm saying, then, leave a comment or something. I appreciate y'all listening. Thank y'all.